This morning we are celebrating some brilliant young minds from CBS Primary Ennis who have put Ennis firmly on the national science map. 3 5th class students, Frankie, Giudici, Sam O'Neill and Aidan Hehir, have been crowned overall winners of the Intel Mini Scientist competition, which saw them beat more than 5,000 students from 75 schools across the country with their award-winning project. And we're delighted to have the 3 champions with us this morning to tell us all about their big win, their brilliant project, and what it felt like to take home the top prize. Frankie, Sam and Aidan, a very good morning to the 3 of you.
Thank you. Thanks. Good morning.
Thanks very much for coming in. I suppose let's talk about the moment when you found out that you had won. Sam, what was that like when your names were announced as the overall winners in Dublin?
I felt really happy, and we all were very shocked.
You were shocked because you were hoping to win, but
Yes.
because there was so many projects and so on that you didn't think you'd win?
No, we didn't. We thought we might get a runner-up prize, but when we didn't get any of those, there were like special prizes and runner-up prizes, and we weren't announced for all of them, so we kind of thought we wouldn't win anything.
Yeah, Frankie, the more prizes that were announced and your names weren't mentioned, were you thinking, were your hopes dashed? You're thinking, I don't think we're going to win anything here today.
Yeah, we were really nervous. We didn't really think that we would win.
Well, I can only imagine what was going through your heads when you did. Particularly, Aidan, because you were up against so many other competitors, as I mentioned, 5,000 students from 75 schools. I mean, even heading into it, did you realise how big this competition was?
Yeah, the teachers told us how big it was, but at first I kind of thought it wasn't too big.
Yeah, I'd say when you arrived there then and saw everybody, you realised it. Well, let's talk about the project that you won with. Sam, tell us a little bit about your project called How Does a Catapult Work? Well, we think we know, but tell us more.
Catapult works through potential energy, tension and kinetic energy, and it follows Newton's first 2 laws.
Okay, and for those who maybe forgot what Isaac Newton's first 2 laws were, remind them.
If something is moving, it will not stop unless it is stopped by another force. And if something is at rest, it will not move unless another force acts upon it.
Okay, so Frankie, the kinetic and potential energy, how did they play a part in your project? Did you build your own catapult?
Yes, we did. So the potential energy is when you crank back the catapult, and the spring or the elastic stores all the energy. And the kinetic energy is when all that energy is released, turning into kinetic energy, propelling the payload.
Okay, and when I'm thinking of catapults, I'm thinking of like the one I would have had as a toy when I was a kid, Aidan. In terms of building a catapult, what was involved in that? Was it a big one that you built?
So we built 4 different types of catapults. The first one we made was a wooden catapult out of lollipop sticks. Then the Miss Little, our STEM teacher, she gave us the strawberries kit, and then we made a catapult out of that. And we also coded one, and then we made a ballista, and then there was a drone that had a catapult mechanism.
My God, primary school is much more advanced than it was in my day, that is for sure. Well, was it fun, Aidan, building all these catapults? Even aside from, you're building them because you want to come up with your project and come up with findings, but just the process of building them, was that a bit of fun?
Yeah, that was probably the best part for me.
Once you had the catapults built, did you test different elements of each of them, Sam, or were you going through the same process with each of the 3 catapults?
Yeah, we were testing which payload would be the best for the catapult. On the day we brought the wrong payload, so we got kind of worried because the stuff in the PowerPoint was probably going to be wrong.
Oh, you brought the wrong one to the competition?
Yeah, by accident.
How did you get around that?
We just used ping pong balls. We found them in the school just before we left.
Thank God for that, says you. So you built it then, and I wonder, Frankie, what kind of the biggest challenge was when you were designing or testing these catapults? Were there any issues with them? Did you have any problems you had to overcome?
Really, the biggest challenge was with the coded catapults, like the coded trebuchet, just to get the radio part working and the coded drone. Because the radio won't work with the motor sometimes, so you had to do a sequence to actually make it work.
Okay, and you both, the three of you are
I coded.
you coded?
Yeah.
And that's what I want to ask about the coding, because it wasn't a thing when I was growing up, but more young people are doing it now. What is so interesting or fun about coding?
So it's the make code from Microbit from Microsoft. That's what we use to code. So the Microbit is a robotics board that you just code. It can do things, and there's lots of extensions to it. So like motors, the Strawberry's robotic inventions, robots.
Okay, and Aidan, what attracted you to coding? Is it too simplistic to say it's something you get into through, playing video games, or that's where you start and then you get interested in technology, or how did you become interested in coding? Was it through school itself?
Yeah, the school does coding first. So the STEM teacher, Miss Little, she goes to all the classes and she teaches us like code, and we have Code in Ireland and like Scratch and Make Code Arcade.
Okay, very good. And putting all of this together, preparing for the Intel Mini Scientist Finals, Sam, how long did this take? Was this something that's been going on for months, or was it weeks?
Well, there was the first round of the competition in our school between groups of 2 to 4 or 5 in our school. Okay,
so you had an inter-school competition before you went on from there.
And then we won that, so we were chosen to go to the proper Intel in Blanchardstown, Dublin.
Okay, and did it take long? Like, has this been going for the past few months, or
the first round took about 2 months, and then we kind of stopped for November, December, and then about 2 months we spent.
And Frankie, how much work overall was involved? I mean, what was it? A lot of times were you thinking, God, will we ever get done with this?
Yes, we had a lot of work. So, like the PowerPoint, 40 pages. All the catapults, mainly building them and getting all the resources. Our teachers helped us a lot. And also with the coding, there were some really difficult parts, even though it was block coding, which is translated to Python, the coding language.
Okay, the line going through my head is Homer Simpson smiling politely. You're far too clever for me. You're all very good at giving due credit to your teachers, but generally speaking, the three of you were at the helm of this winning project. Aidan, how did you divvy up the work? Working as part of a team. It can sometimes be difficult. Other times it's great if everyone's working off the same page. How did the three of you get along in deciding who did what?
So I'm usually good at art, so I done like the poster and stuff, and then Sam done the PowerPoint, but we kind of all helped, and then Frankie done the code, and then as well we also all helped. So it was kind of like we all kind of divided up into strong suits.
Okay, it sounds very harmonious, Sam. Everybody worked well.
Yeah. So with the catapult building, since there was 4 catapults, we each built a catapult. Some of the catapults we built them together, and the last Joe catapult we also built it mostly like each.
Okay, well, it's I suppose it's no surprise you won, given that it sounds like from the get-go, it was all very, very harmonious. And to talk to us a bit about presenting the project to the judges, Aidan, what was that like, and were you nervous? Did one of you have to do that? Did all three of you have to do certain parts of it? How did it work?
All 3 of us had to do separate parts, but like if one got stuck, then the other would help, and we all kind of divided the slides up.
Okay, so and you obviously, it was a great presentation, but I mean, were any of you nervous? I mean, was it a big crowd? I mean, there's a lot of students there from different schools, and I'm sure teachers and parents and so on. Was it nervy, Sam?
Yeah, I was quite nervous. We were all quite nervous going into it. There was like 70 schools there and so many good projects, and we thought we'd get a runner-up prize, but we were really shocked when we were announced as winners.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant moment. And I know you ended up meeting representatives from Intel. Frankie, did you pitch yourself for a job in later life? Keep me in mind.
A bit.
you gave them your CV already, and the school won €1,000 grant as well, Aidan. So take us through everything you got. Did you get plaques? Do you get a trophy? Do you get certificates? Or how does it work?
Yeah, so we each got a certificate and a medal, and then the school keeps the trophy and the €1,000.
Okay, and absolutely brilliant for you. And has this experience made you more interested in science or in engineering, Sam? I mean, you're all very young, but is this something you would like to do as a job later in life?
Yeah.
Sorry to be asking you about your future so far ahead, but
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about it, or maybe going down the routes of business.
I tell you what, you've got your head screwed on. What about you, Frankie? You're clearly going to stay in this type of work anyway. If you were talking to giving Intel a nudge and saying, keep a role
yes,
for me.
It seems like a good job to do. So, yeah.
Okay, well, look, well done to the three of you. I'm sure your teachers, your school, and everyone in the school very proud of you, and your parents too. So congratulations to Frankie Giudici, Sam O'Neill and Aidan Hehir, the 5th class CBS Primary Ennis students who won that big prize at the National Intel Mini Scientist Finals, for joining us on Morning Focus this morning.